Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Adams. I'm here with Annie, and I've been working with Annie for about 3 months now in training. Annie, just wanted to share your story and your success so far. Okay, 3 months is a very short time. I think you've seen that now. But what have your results been in these 3 months?
I think my results have been very good. When I came into this, I was looking for a trainer that was going to be ultimately professional and someone with a lot of experience, and I think Jacob really had that when I was shopping around for a trainer, and that's why I did decide to end up training with him. Overall, with the past 3 months, I'm very happy with my results, and I think I've learned the importance of nutrition, form, and I think I have a good mindset of how to continue when I'm no longer training with him.
Cool. So, why did you? I didn't tell you, hey, I'm professional, I'm experienced. What made you, since that's what you were looking for, what made you conclude that?
I did have a long list of questions for him when I came in, and I think that kind of took him aback when we first met. However, he did mention that he had over 10 years, I believe, of experience, and I was comparing with another trainer who was going to offer nutrition at the time, and that was really the deal breaker between the two. However, because she was only an online trainer with nutrition as well, I decided to go with Jacob because one of my concerns was perfecting and improving upon my form, and I felt that could only be done in person.
Fair enough. And since the form was one of the things that we wanted to improve on, how much did I emphasize form? Again, this wasn't planned. I know it is what we went over, but we didn't plan these questions, right? At all, right? So how much did we focus on form?
I think form came naturally along with, increasing the weight and just with every routine that we were doing in every session that we had. I asked that it would be emphasized because, again, I wanted to learn from this and be able to continue on my own. So he did help me with form, and I think overall it's improved because I don't want to continue with the wrong form and have an injury or just not get the results I want when I'm on my own.
And you've been training on your own a little bit. We train 2 times a week, and you do your upper body on your own. You started doing your own leg sessions. Do you feel you have an understanding of the fundamentals of weight training to an extent now?
I do, yes. Before I would say I would go into the gym kind of confused. I would stare at other people, see what they were doing. Oh, she looks really nice. Like, let me try that exercise. And now I think I feel more confident going in. I have a game plan. And if I'm ever confused, I look it up, and I'm sure I can always ask Jacob as well afterwards.
Very nice, very nice. Let's go into some of your results that we've got, and then we'll go into some of the nutrition. We'll wrap it up here, okay? So tell me about your results. Like I told you, this week someone was picking on you a little bit over, hey, you're having too many carbs, right? Because before we met, you were having under about 1,000 or less calories a day, right? Where are you at now? We talked about a little bit in the office where you're at now. You're at about how much?
I'd say 1,400 to 1,500 calories.
We're in there somewhere, right? So you've increased about 500 calories a day, which is about 3,500, I think last I checked, a week more, right? 1, 2, yeah, about 3,500 a week more. It's a pound more a week of calories. And what are the results? You're having more food. Tell me what you're experiencing, seeing, feeling. What's going on?
I think I have a better understanding of nutrition. I always felt that I didn't need to eat as much, but going in with this and again trusting him and his experience and his expertise, I've learned that I do feel better when I eat more. I didn't turn into a balloon. I'm still pretty petite. I've gotten the results I wanted, and I feel comfortable eating more. I feel better, and I don't feel like I'm going to pass out when I'm working out, which is very important.
Right, and I think from looking at her, like kind of talking to her, when I met her, I told her she had a very nice body and all that. That's not to say that she wasn't already good. Now when I look at her, she has this sort of like this little more energy, a little bit more presence and confidence and just overall posture. And I see it as like a readiness to go, like more just readiness to spring to action. That's what I've told her that. Earlier this week, someone was telling you you're eating too much. It was kind of getting to you, right? Like someone was saying, hey, you're eating too many carbs, and then what do the numbers say? Annie's gonna be a CPA, and so she's all about numbers. And she was like, and I worked on getting the StyQ up and running because it had a tech issue, so I had it running just for today. And so tell me, what are the numbers saying?
Yeah, the numbers are good and numbers don't lie. I think that I was getting in my head about what they were telling me. I was thinking, okay, maybe they're right. I was like, I really need to get this scan in so I can see. And you know, if my numbers had increased in terms of body fat, I would have been concerned. I would have been like, okay, like they're correct, you know, they're seeing it. Because I think that we get used to seeing ourselves in the mirror and we're like, oh, okay, look, we look normal. But of course, when other people see us, especially if it's been over a period of time, they're like, hey, you kind of gained some weight, oh, you lost some weight. So I was just really depending on the numbers, and thankfully they turned out.
Yeah, let's talk about those numbers. Your fat from last week to this week, what happened? Your body fat percentage went...
It decreased, and that was with an increase in calories.
Yeah, so we increased her calories over the last 2 weeks, and her body fat went down 0.5 point, okay? Now, what else changed?
My muscle mass also increased.
Over the last 2-3 weeks, about 1 pound, correct? So her body fat, her muscle increased, her body fat decreased. Now, anyone that knows anything about fitness knows that that's the holy grail of results, right? That is the thing, right, that you want. So she's there. And we did that, and she's meal prepping on her. She likes the meal prepping. She had some pasta. She's sticking to the carbs. I'm not really telling her what to eat as much as just giving her the macros, and she herself is picking. So she's doing really good with that, and above average into her compliance. So that's really what's helping. Another thing that I told her before we did this interview or this little testimonial, I said, look, Annie, I'm going to do your hip to waist ratio so we can kind of see. And I said, unfortunately, Annie, I have something to tell you. You know, didn't I tell you just like that? I go, unfortunately, I have something to report to you that, you know, it's not. I hate doing this, but a perfect hip to waist ratio for a woman is a 0.70, and you're 0.69. So you're like a hairline away from perfect ratios. And you know, why I say that's unfortunate is because, you know, she came in at the beginning of the week kind of beating herself up, thinking she was eating too much, and you know, it just is not what the numbers are showing. The numbers are showing that she's just very accurate and really on point. And it's kind of unfortunate to those people that are kind of picking on you, huh? Because the numbers are kind of saying, don't you wish you were me? So in any case, anything, oh, you told me one thing that I did write down. You said everything that I told you would happen, did happen. What was that exactly? Because I don't even know what that means. I kind of know what it means, but we didn't go into that. That everything I said would happen or predicted would happen would happen. What happened? What did I tell you what happened and what happened?
I think that
I'm just checking the time.
I think if you are looking for a trainer and you come in and you say, or perhaps you show a picture and you're like, I want to look like this, he's going to be very honest and realistic about the expectations that you have, whether or not they're attainable based on, again, his experience and his expertise. For me, I was showing him pictures of someone that was really lean, I'd say kind of lengthy, and I was like, look, like she has like a good amount of muscle mass, she's really lean. And he was like, yes, like that's possible, but for them it may be more attainable and easier to, you know, achieve that shape because of their body type. And again, all these other factors that contribute to it that you otherwise wouldn't think of. You kind of just think like, well, she did it, can I do it? But again, based on genetics, it just differs from person to person. So he was very realistic about what I could achieve within the 3 months, and I'm very happy with my results.
Yes, like to further illustrate what I'm getting at, or what we were getting at with that conversation, is she was showing me someone that was an ectomorph, someone that's very lanky, long-legged, burns fat really easy, very thin skin, abdominal definition showing ripped quads, and she's very slender and slim already. Her body fat is low naturally to a degree already, but Annie gains muscle faster and she's a little more curvy. And so what I was telling her is that this person may burn fat easier, but you gain muscle easier, right? So this person, the grass tends to be greener on the other side sometimes. And I've had friends that they're just shredded and they party and eat whatever they want and they're shredded. It's just they're more insulin sensitive, they're genetic, but they're weighing 145 pounds, right? And I'm weighing 200 plus. So they might want more mass and I'd like to be more ripped. And it's just sort of like, you kind of got to take what your body is and maximize it, and kind of understand there's some people that have strengths that you don't. And if you think about some people, to kind of close that card, there's people that have bigger calves naturally. And so you're always gonna have to work really hard for your calf size. So it's kind of stuff like that. Annie, I really appreciate working with you. You've been a lot of fun. I've always told you right from the beginning, like she's got a very, demure little voice and just very calm from day one. And she's kept that through and through, where it's like, Annie, do this, and she's like, I did it. I mean, she just always had that attitude. It's really, really cool working with her. So I'm Jacob Adams. Any last words?
If you're looking for a trainer, I would suggest Jacob. Again, he's very honest, professional, and I think you're going to be satisfied with your results. And yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Annie. We'll see you next time. Hopefully you're.
Imagine it's not recording.
It's recording.